All right, gang, we're going to talk about how to solve some of these problems on the review so that you are ready for your test on Friday. So on number 1, we can't leave this in terms of inches and feet. Our feet have to turn into inches, and remember there is 12 inches in 1 foot, so that's our conversion. So to convert from 4 feet into inches, I would take 4 times 12, which is 48. So I'm going to write this ratio as 3 to 48. That is inches to feet. Well, not feet. Inches, 3 inches to 48 inches, or 4 feet. I don't want to leave a ratio like this. I want to reduce it, so I'm going to divide by 3. 48 is divisible by 3, and it makes 16. So that makes this 1 to 16. Now remember, with a ratio, we want to write it with 2 numbers. It's a comparison of 2 units, 2 numbers, and so we want to make sure we have that 1 in there. On number 2, we are going to write the ratio of x to y, which means that I really want x to be in the numerator and y to be in the denominator. That's what I'm going for. So in order to do that, I'm going to take my 2x equals 5y, and I'm going to put y in the denominator. To do that, I divide by y. Remember, all moves in algebra are allowed and legal as long as I do them to both sides. So I'm going to divide by y on both sides. Then I need the 2 to get rid of I need to get rid of the 2 in front of the x, so I'm going to divide by 2. So I'm going to divide by 2. Now some of these things are going to cancel out, which will be really nice. 2's will cancel, y's will cancel. So now I end up with x to y, x over y equals 5 over 2. 5 over 2, or 5 to 2, or 5 over 2 if you don't like the slash. All right, number 3, we're going to cross multiply to start this problem out. So let's go orange. So I'm going to cross multiply. I'm going to make sure these guys are in parentheses, so I'm distributing. So this is 6 times y plus 3 is equal to 2 times x plus 9. Well, 6 times y is 6y. 6 times 3 is 18. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 9 is 18. Now I'm back to where I started, well, almost. I want to get all the x's and y's. I want x on top, y on the bottom, so I need to get rid of these 18s. So I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides, which cancels those out. So now I get 6y equals 2x. X has to stay in the top in the numerator, so I'm going to divide by y to get y in the denominator, get rid of my 2. So divide by 2, cancel, cancel. 6 to 2 equals x to y. But again, I can't leave it as 6 over 2. That's really 3 to 1. So remember, I want to make sure I keep that 1. So it's either 3 to 1 or 3 to 1, not 1 to 3. That is not correct. Okay, so x to y is 3 to 1, not 1 to 3. On our next problem, we're going to talk about our geometric mean. Our geometric mean means that it's the middle. The means are in between, and I don't know what the mean is, so I'm going to put x's there. And that means that 2 and 32 are right here. Those are my extremes. I'm going to cross multiply. 64 equals x squared. Take the square root, so I get plus or minus 8 is equal to x. So I get plus or minus 8, not just 8. If you do just 8, it is incorrect. All right, number 5. I really like having a picture on number 5. That will help me a whole lot with this problem overall. So I'm going to start with my 50-foot flagpole. You're welcome to add your flag on if you want. And then my flagpole has a shadow. That's 75 feet. Notice everything's in feet, so I don't have to do any conversions. Now I have a little girl over here, and she's only 5 feet tall, and her shadow is something I don't know. So essentially what I've really got going on here is I've got some similar right triangles. We'll talk a little bit more about this when we get to trigonometry, but I've got the sun is over here, creating this angle that's going to be the same on both of those shadows. And then this is a right angle. So by angle, the two triangles are similar. So therefore, I can write proportions of 50 over 7 point. Oh, no. Jumping ahead. 50 over 75. So this guy over this guy equals 5 over x. This guy over this guy. Okay, so I'm going to cross multiply. 50x is equal to 375. Divide by 50. And x equals 7.5. So the shadow is 7.5 feet. On our next one, we're talking about our means and extremes. So we are going to rewrite a over x as a to x and y over b as y to b. So remember, we can write ratios in lots of different ways. Well, 2 or 3. And the colon is one of the ways. Means are the middle numbers. Means. Extremes are the end numbers. So the first and last terms are my extremes. So my extremes are A and B. And my middle terms are the middle guys, so X and Y. All right, I will upload a different video for the next few problems.